everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Junia. Junia. And today I want to share my passion for Spanish language with you. We're gonna discuss why Spanish. Why is it important? Why is it easy? Why is it fun? Okay. We're gonna discuss basic concepts, basic grammatical concepts, and very simple reading rules. I started learning Spanish 13 months ago, and back then I couldn't even read. I didn't know. It's very easy to read, but if you don't know these few rules, you're gonna suck. Okay. So today I'm gonna share the base of the base. Okay. If you thought about learning this language, if you tried in high school, I want to inspire you. I want to inspire you because to have another language is to possess another soul. Okay. And if everyone had a Latino soul, it would be so much more fun. Okay. So why Spanish? Why Spanish? Because it is the most popular in the European language in native speakers. We know that number one in speakers is English, but it's actually, when we think about all the foreigners who learned English as their second, third language, the second one is Mandarin Chinese, but let's be honest, it's very difficult, especially if you are not integrated, if you are not in the country. Very difficult. And the third one, most popular language right now, is Spanish. There are 20 countries and one territory where Spanish is spoken. One territory is Puerto Rico. If you know, Spanish is a Romance or Latin language, right? So it derived from Latin. So there are other Latin languages that are also very popular, like French or Italian, that if you know Spanish, these languages will be very easy for you to learn too, and even to read and understand, because the base is the same. If you already know English, and I imagine that English is, I think for 70% of my viewers, English is their first language. So if English is your first language, Spanish is gonna be very, very easy for you because of how many Latin words English has. Okay, there are so many words that are basically the same in English and Spanish. If you are interested about Germanic and Latin words in English, you can watch a video. I made one about synonyms, where one is a Germanic word and the other one is a Latin word. I'll put the link in the description. Why Spanish? Again, because it's very easy to learn. Grammatical patterns are pretty clear. Of course, there are gonna be exceptions, and of course, the conjugation is a little bit more difficult than in English, but we're gonna discuss it later. Why Spanish? Because it is very easy to be part of the Spanish internet. Okay, it is very easy to pirate to share content in Spanish. I tried to learn. Well, I've been studying, okay? German. I have been studying, and it was very hard to find anything, any platforms, subscriptions, especially for me as a Russian. Like we cannot just subscribe to Netflix. It was very hard. In Spanish, anything you want, music, TV shows, you can watch Korean or Western shows in Spanish, dubbed with subtitles, all of that for free. Internet is vast, and the Spanish internet is beautiful and wild. I love it. Why Spanish? Music, okay? I'm not gonna explain to you all the tenses, all the rules for conjugation, and so on. I'll just break down the base. And the first thing is gonna be the concept of genders in nouns. Nouns have genders in Spanish, yes. And a lot of people, especially those who are native speakers of languages that do not have the same concept, they find it very baffling. How is that? A door is a she, and a book is a he. Why is that? But you should not think, you should not find logic here. This is just a grammatical gender. It doesn't have anything to do with if door is presented feminine or whatever. Even though I think they are patterns in different languages, from different language families, where the same things have the same gender. And of course, it's like a woman will be a feminine gender, a girl will be a feminine gender, unless it's German, okay? Or like a moon will be feminine gender too. But these are rare, okay? Rare. And also they are exceptions. They are also rare. They're exceptions where the word looks like it's, for example, masculine, but it's feminine, and vice versa. So it is very easy to distinguish whether a word is masculine or feminine in Spanish. Usually masculine words, they end with o or a consonant, okay? And femininity, and feminine words end with a vowel a. Of course, they are exceptions again, but they are not that popular, and honestly easy to remember anyway. For example, we have el libro, that's a book, okay? The book, I should say. El libro, the book. Or la casa, you probably know casa, okay? House. Or el chico, the boy. How do you think we change it? Like for a girl, we say, instead of chico, we say chica, el chico, la chica. Easy. Okay. Next, Spanish uses articles, but that's not gonna be an issue. If your language has articles, then it's not gonna be an issue. And if they don't, you watch this video, you probably understand English, so no worries. In English, you have the same articles. The definite article is the, and indefinite is e or en. In Spanish, we have the feminine and masculine version of those articles, and also the plural version. So we have el, it's a the in masculine singular, el, la for feminine singular, un is a for masculine indefinite, una feminine, for example, el libro, the book, el libro, the book, un libro, a book, un libro, a book. La maestra, the teacher, the female teacher, the she teacher. Una maestra, a teacher. Okay, adjectives. Adjectives often agree with nouns. What does it mean? What does it mean? That adjectives will also have the endings that show the gender of the noun. We have the same thing in Russian, but of course, as usual, it's always more complicated in Russian. In Spanish, it's very easy. The word ends with o, it's masculine. The adjective will also end with an o. For example, un libro nuevo. We have libro nuevo. Okay. Una casa nueva. Casa nueva. Very easy. Muy fácil, muy fácil. El chico alto, 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 muy alto. El chico muy, muy alto. Yeah, the very tall boy, the tall boy. La chica alta, la chica alta. The tall girl. Okay, great. Also, verbs change depending on the subject. Okay, they conjugate. Conjugation exists in English, but it is very easy. Very easy. Muy fácil. For example, I speak, you speak, they speak, we speak, but he, she, it speaks. Okay, we only change it. There are only two options here for the present tense. In Spanish, it's a little bit more difficult. It's like in Russian. Conjugation is different for basically all the pronouns. For example, I conjugated speak in English, okay, and in Spanish it's gonna be yo hablo, tú hablas, él habla, nosotros hablamos, ellos hablan, okay? A little bit more difficult, but you spent like 3 days conjugating the same tense, and it's not gonna be an issue. Very easy. Your brain memorizes these things very, very fast. Another thing with verbs is that we can, because of the conjugation, we already know, like we see, for example, yo hablo, we see that the ending is o. It means that I am speaking, and we don't have to use I because it's excessive. It's like I speak, therefore we can omit a lot of pronouns, okay, a lot of times. For example, instead of saying yo hablo español, you can say hablo español, and that's all. Or we're talking about like a Oh, habla español. Like he's speaking. He speaks Spanish. We say speaks Spanish. Okay. Word order. Word order is also very easy. Very easy. In English, you have the subject, verb, object structure. In Spanish, it is the same, but you don't have to change. You don't have to change the order for questions. In English, you are saying, I watch TV. I subject, watch, verb, TV, object. And when you want to ask a question, when you want to make this sentence negative, you have to switch the subject with the verb, okay? So you're saying, do I watch TV? Do I watch TV? Do I watch TV? In Spanish, you don't have to do that. You say, yo veo. Yo veo? That's a question, okay? That was una pregunta, and we didn't change anything, which is nice. Because why do you have to change the structure of the sentence for a question? Won't they be able to understand with the intonation? I guess it is happening right now because it depends if the speaker is like educated. It depends on their dialect, but many times people just say, what you doing? What you doing? Like they are not saying what are you doing? Okay, they don't. Yeah, whatever. Another thing, there are two versions of the verb to be. In English, you say, I am a woman, and you say, I am mad right now. M and M. But I am a woman, that's a permanent state, right? I am a woman, that period. I was born a woman, I am a woman. But I am mad right now. It's not permanent. Right now I'm mad. In 30 minutes I'm gonna cry. In 1 hour I'm gonna be happy. Jesus, that's such a great example with a woman. Doesn't matter. So in Spanish there are two versions. One is for permanent things and the other one for temporary things and locations. The logic is very easy to understand, but like you just automatically make these mistakes. Unfortunately, I still say sometimes like yo soy instead of yo estoy, you know. So the verbs are ser and estar, and both of them conjugate throughout nouns and tenses. In English, you say I am, you are, he is. Yeah, basically the same as in Spanish, but a little bit. Again, conjugation is a little bit more complicated. Yo soy, tú eres, él, ella es, nosotros somos, and so on. And if we want to conjugate the estar, so not permanent, temporary locations, that's gonna be a different conjugation. Yo estoy, tú estás, nosotros estamos, and so on. Okay. A little bit tricky, especially like when you talk about present. It's all I don't know. It's all hihinki hachinki. It's all fun when it's about the present. But But when you start talking about the past and different tenses, but is it perfect tense or not perfect tense? Then it's kind of tricky. But at this point, you can already speak Spanish almost fluently. Like, I still make these mistakes a lot, which is alright for 1 year of learning. It is totally fine, and of course, I sound like oh, her Spanish is not that good. She makes mistakes, but I am understandable. People understand me. I understand other people. I can talk about almost everything. Yesterday I had a great lesson with my Spanish teacher. We were talking about my traveling, my plans, the political situations, about like her stuff, her issues, and it was all great. I really enjoy Spanish. So do not get very scared by the tu soy estar or all the forms of conjugation. You will be fine. Rome wasn't built in 1 day, or how did they say that? Again, a little bit context, okay? More examples for you. Es español. He is Spanish, okay? He is from Spain. He is Spanish. Es español. He's not gonna change his ethnicity. Yeah, we cannot change the fact that he was born in Spain. Correcto. Or we can say somos amigos. Somos amigos. We are friends. Of course, I guess we can stop being friends, but we are friends. It's not like it's today or right now. We are friends. That's a fact. Or we say estoy en casa. Yo también estoy en casa. I am in a house right now. I'm being, okay, in a house. Or you can say ella está cansada. She is tired. She's tired. She's tired right now. It's not like her temporary state. She's just tired right now. Okay. Also, another thing that will be very helpful for you at the beginning is to know that there is a word I basically is a synonym for there is, there are. For example, hay un libro en la mesa. Hay un libro. There is a book on the table. Hay un libro. Or hay dos estudiantes. Hay dos estudiantes. They are two students. They are two students. And of course we change this I verb to present and future, just like in English you say there was or there were or there will be. But it's also very easy. I think this is all with grammar. That's like the base that you should know before you start learning Spanish. Okay, this is the base. And now let's talk about reading rules. Again, as you could understand, I'm not the native speaker. Spanish is not my first. It's not my second. Well, it's kind of like my third, fourth language, but I don't think my pronunciation is especially good. But I'll just try to explain the theory. Okay, so there are 5 main vowels in Spanish: a, e, I, o, u. A, e, I, o, u. For example, with a, casa, mesa, vino, the first rule in reading, or should I say exception, because actually reading in Spanish is super easy. It is a piece of cake, easy. You just have to know a few exceptions. Usually you read the words the way they are spelled. It's not like in English when it's almost like Chinese characters, when if you don't know the correct pronunciation you will most probably make a mistake. No, in Spanish it's so much easier, so much easier. So the first one is about the letter H. 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 Okay, H. You probably know how to say hello in Spanish, right? It is hola, hola. But it is spelled H-O-L-L. Why? Why? Because H is silent. It is silent. If it's the first letter in the word, or it is between vowels, we always ignore it. Okay. For example, hola or hotel, hotel. Hola, ¿puedes ayudarme? ¿Dónde está mi hotel? No sé. Hotel, hotel. Hotel, hotel, hotel. Next, we have the letter J, J. I'm not sure if my Spanish sounds the way it should be, because it is different from Russian for sure, but basically you pronounce it like you exhale, J, and J looks like J, but we don't pronounce it as J. And I think you know about this because they are popular names like Juan or no way Jose. Jose, okay? So we just pronounce it as for example, jamón, jamón, that's ham, or jugar, jugar, to play. Next it is, I think that's my favorite letter in Spanish. It's letter ñ, and I think the sound is very easy for me because in Russian we have soft and hard consonants, and ñ is an example of soft consonant. It is this like an in English with a funny wave on top of it. I'm not really sure how to make you pronounce it the way it should be, but try to lay your tongue a little bit more flatter than it just for a n. For n, basically the tip of your tongue is working, but with ñ, you also touch the upper part of your mouth with the ridges of your tongue, with the sides. Ñ, no, ñ, no, ñ. So, for example, words that have ñ, niño, a child, a boy, and a girl, you say niña, niño, niña. España, Spain. Mañana, tomorrow or morning. With España, you know, there are different accents in English, right? And there are also a lot of accents in Spanish. Some of them are, I think, a little bit more clear and understandable than others. I think that's not only my opinion, but I guess Colombian, Mexican, Venezuelan accents are considered to be the easy ones, the clear ones. The accent that you try to speak with also influences the way you pronounce double L, okay? Double L, it's either double L, double L, okay, double L, double L, or Y in English, or Y, Y, or Y. So these are pronounced differently depending on your accent. I think I pronounce it kind of like the northern part of South America, I guess, because my teachers, they are from people that I talk to, they are from Colombia, Venezuela. So I think that's why I pronounce it a little bit like yo. But you can simply pronounce it as you, or you can pronounce it as sh. For example, in Argentina, people say it as sh. They say shoga instead of yoga. They say quesadilla for quesadilla, which is a little bit funny, but it's fine. So examples: double L, okay, or Y. We pronounce it as llamo, calle, yo, ya, calle. Again, I already talked about the letter C, how the pronunciation is different, but let's see. So if it is before a or u, usually it sounds like k. Cosa, color, cultura. And before before e and e, pronunciation depends. In Spain, they would pronounce it as centro, cine. And in Latin America, they would say centro, cine. I personally, again, I speak with the Latin American Spanish. Of course, I imagine that it's like British English and American English. As a linguist, I have a lot of friends who prefer British English, not because they are, I don't know, they have a lot of friends from the UK or they are watching British shows. It's just because the British accent is the accent of an educated person. So you sound royal if you speak with British accent. I guess this is the situation with Spanish, because I heard, especially like Russian teachers who teach Spanish, they say, "Oh, you should don't speak with Castilian accent because this is the only right accent in Spanish." But I personally, hey, whatever. Next letter, yeah, English G. Also depends which vowel stands after it. If it's a, o, u, then it is like g, gato, gozo, gusto. If it is e or e, then you pronounce it as jota, like gente, people. Gigante. you have the QU standing next to each other, they basically just mean k, just one k. For example, word cheese, queso. We ignore the U, we do not say queso, we say queso, queso. Or quien, who, quien. We do not say quien. Even simply saying what in Spanish is gonna be que. What was that trendy sound? Un qué? No? Un qué? Whatever. And another thing is stress and written accents. I think personally that that is not even a rule. If you see that there is a stress, then this vowel, this syllable is gonna be stressed. That's all. For example, teléfono. We don't say telefono. We say teléfono because there is stress. Teléfono. Médico. Okay, very easy. Another thing that can confuse you as an English speaker, that's the rolling R's. For me, again, that's very easy because we have the rolling R's in Russian. But for you, it might be difficult. How to learn to roll your R's? I originally heard this rule, this life hack from a Chinese man who was learning Russian, and he said that you should put your head like this and feel like your tongue is falling back into your throat, and then try to push it and feel it flipping back and forth. And that's how you're gonna learn how to pronounce your R's, okay? How to roll your R's. In Spanish, it's a big thing, I think, when I hear Americans speaking Spanish with aura. It's not sexy. It's so, but if it's very, very difficult for you and you cannot learn it, then it's fine. But nothing is impossible. Just practice, okay? Especially when you have the double R. It should be okay. Perro. Okay, now let's do a quick practice. I'll put words right here and you will read them, okay? So, hola, casa, libro. Very good. Next. Niño. Gracias. Queso. Correct. Gente. Amigo. Teléfono. Very good. Muy bien. So that was all, guys. I hope you had fun. I hope you got motivated to learn Spanish, or maybe, I don't know, to proceed with Russian or any other language. I just think in general it's always interesting to learn about different languages, even not like try to actually